What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video preview. Today we're gonna take a look at the newly released Iron Man 2 Mark IV quarter scale with Gantry. And if you're interested, you can still pre-order this at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. $4 shipping. I'm sure it'll be a pain to ship this guy because it's quarter scale, and B, it looks massive with those gantry right next to him. I mean, the 1/6 scale is already huge. I can just imagine the box for this guy. And I now have two quarter scale Hot Toys. I have some quarter scale statues, but the quarter scale Hot Toys, their boxes are a pain in the ass to keep. I'm not gonna lie. That is one thing that, I mean, it's one thing to display them, right? You already have an issue displaying them because they take up so much space. But can you imagine just, like if you have every quarter scale Hot Toys out there, the storage that this box would just take up. Like in my garage, I'm almost tempted between this and between the quarter scale, my statues, and the other thing is Thanos. Thanos is not even that bad storing, but the what do you call that? The Hall of Armor. Again, their boxes are just massive. You put them all together, you kind of like have one half or at least a quarter of the wall of my garage already covered up, and it is annoying. I'm almost tempted to just throw them all away. And I'm not gonna lie, quarter scale, I have a brand new appreciation for Hot Toys quarter scale ever since getting that Spider-Man from No Way Home and the Mandalorian. They just have a different presence in your collection. They're massive. They are just a centerpiece. They're eye catchy. That you can't help but get drawn into them. When you look at them, the details just pops up more because they're so huge. Like it's just beautiful. Now, as far as this piece, I don't have any quarter scale statue nor Hot Toys. So right away, you get drawn off to this. I'm like, man, I wanted an Iron Man that big to kind of represent on my backdrop right here. Now, with that being said, this is a bit pricey. The one with a gantry is around 1100, and the one without is 600. I always thought that Mark IV was the quintessential Iron Man. When you think of Iron Man, you think about kind of looking like this. I know this is more of an old school armor, still mechanized, unlike the nanotech that he used in Infinity War, Endgame. But to most people, I think they associate Iron Man with this kind of look. I guess this or Mark III. I would say this more because he is a bit more refined in this armor with a circular chest piece. The arc reactor is circular. See the difference between the Hot Toys 1/6 and quarter scale. It looks like the 1/6 version has a little bit more weathering to it, so that's a little nicer. I do have, full disclosure, I do have the Mark IV die-cast version of this. So maybe that is why I'm not as inclined to get this. As a matter of fact, I am more drawn into getting the Mark 42 with the deluxe version with a nice base because A, it's cheaper, and B, Hot Toys doesn't really have. They have a diecast Mark 42, but that's a lot. That's dated now. With the shoulder joint popping out and all that stuff. So, for me, getting the quarter scale Mark 42 would make more sense both financial wise because it's cheaper nowadays, especially if you go to your local retailer and such. It's cheaper, and it does offer something that, at least for me personally, I don't have, which is a representation of Mark 42 in my collection. With that being said, the gantry is just, my goodness, it's just a unit, just a centerpiece in your collection. When you do have this, wow, you'll just, I don't know where you're going to put it, even if I get this first and foremost, but this is just a beautiful, beautiful piece. Would they re-release the diecast version of this? Would they 2.0 that? I don't see any point on doing that, to be quite honest with you, other than just a straight up cash grab. But I don't even know if, because right now you see Iron Man pieces in 1/6 form sitting. You get Mark V, who was highly anticipated back then. Now it's getting discounted. Did they just make too many, or did just collectors just moved on from Iron Man? I don't know. Um, or did they just release too many Mark Fives at this point? From plastic to the diecast to now the 2. Not even 2.0, the re-release of that Mark Five. Is there just many circulating out there? Would Mark IV suffer the same fate? Even though it is quote unquote a little bit older, uh, would they be encouraged to re-release this or reissue this Mark IV in a 1/6 format? I don't know. There's another Mark III that's about to come out. I guess they could take a look at that, see how. But that Mark III has been refined, and that's a 2.0. It's taller. It looks better, really, from at every aspect from the previous Mark III. This one, I don't see anything wrong with my Mark IV to warrant a reissue. Now, if you're talking about the new collectors that has been out of the game, like how many really are gonna pick up this Mark IV? Or is there really an influx of new Iron Man collectors from the past, I don't know, 4 years maybe, when that Mark IV has released? Would it warrant a second reissue for that Mark IV? Like how many are they really gonna sell? We don't know. So maybe Iron Man always sells, but lately, sitting them sit, that Mark I's been there, being discounted now. Mark V has been heavily discounted, and those were considered. Even Mark 46. I remember there was a guy looking for the Mark 46 for every single post, and now that it's here, it's being discounted at 20% as well on Sideshow, and that is considered an exclusive edition. So you don't really know what the market, tells you at around this point. So I don't know. So maybe if you don't have a Mark IV and you really want one, this might be your only chance. Now there's two versions. You can pick the Gantry one, or you can pick the regular one, which is around $600. It's not bad. It's a good representation. Still Iron Man. So if you're kind of short on cash or space, that might be a better option for you, or a cheaper alternative, so to speak. Even though the Gantry is it's just beautiful with all the details that you see here. With Iron Man, your money's always, you always get your money's worth unless it goes on sale. So and then you bought it for retail. But yeah, let me know in the comments. I think this is going to sit. Honestly, I think this is going to sit, and you can have it for a discount down the line. But let me know in the comments if you're going to get this. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.